because after the class she will say, oh, I forgot. So please, please, please have her join. We'll miss her otherwise in the class. Just put it on the class notes there. And this call is being broadcast on Facebook and YouTube. And we'll get started after this brief prayer to the special master. Om Ajnanatimarandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, what is the verse today? So, in these classes, for those who are new, we cover and learn how to pronounce and read in English verses that are composed in Sanskrit, how to read those in English. And also, we try to memorize that a little bit, but then later on for the rest of the week, you have the whole full week to memorize. So welcome, Sutapa Mataji. I see Sulekha has also joined and Madhav Sangini Mataji has also joined us. This is fantastic. Okay. So I'm going to start sharing the verse today. Now, most of you who have been in this class have noticed that some days I come and tell you that there is a tongue twister and we're going to have a tough time trying to memorize it. However, this verse today is not that difficult, right? And we have a newcomer with us, Saranya Mataji. So, and who was the first to join? No. And then we also have Kiran Mataji. Kiran is also there. Yeah, Kiran was the first to join.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kiran Mataji.
Danvat pranams to everybody.
There we go. So we had Kiran Mataji, she joined us. And first, I'm just trying to bring up the reading order. So the reading order happens in the order in which we join the class. And so we had Kiran, we have Saranya, we had Varshana Mataji. I might have missed up a little bit on the order there. And then after that, I kind of lost track, but then Suruchi was there. But definitely, I'm going to put her up in the order before I forget that she's there. I do that thing all the time. And Aruni Mataji is here with us. Fantastic. So I'm just going to put the other names here, not in that particular order. But we have Sutapa. Please let me know if I'm missing any names. Subodhini is there, and then Sulekha is there. I'm just noticing we have so many names that start with S. Seems like a popular letter. Madhav Sangini and Aruni. Okay, Madhava, Sangini, and Aruni. Okay, I'm calling out the names Kiran, Saranya, Varshana, Suruchi, Sutapa, Subodhini, Sulekha, Madhav Sangini, Aruni. Am I missing anybody? I don't think so. Okay. All right. So let's get started on the verse for today. And there's an interesting thing about this verse. Okay, but we'll talk about that later. Can you see the screen?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
And can you see the screen well enough?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now we will have a little bit of a trouble because I can't see the full screen. And then later on, you might also have some trouble there. Okay, okay, we'll just go. We'll try to see. Sutapa, I know your system gives you a little bit of a grief. Are you able to see?
Yes, Mataji.
Still? Okay, that's good. Okay. Nāsato vidyate bhāvo, nābhāvo vidyate sataḥ, ubhayor api dṛṣṭo ntas, anayos tattva-darśibhiḥ. Nāsato vidyate bhāvo, nābhāvo vidyate sataḥ, ubhayor api dṛṣṭo ntas, anayos tattva-darśibhiḥ. Nāsato vidyate bhāvo, nābhāvo vidyate sataḥ, ubhayor api dṛṣṭo ntas, anayos tattva-darśibhiḥ, anayos tattva-darśibhiḥ. Either ways you can pronounce. Together is much better. But anayos, right? So let's look at the synonyms. Na means never. Asataḥ means of the non-existent. Sat means one who exists, eternal, right? So asataḥ, of the non-existent. Vidyate, there is. Bhāva, endurance. Bhāvaḥ, endurance. Na, never. Abhāvaḥ, changing quality. Vidyate, there is. Sataḥ, of the eternal. So there are opposites here, asataḥ and sataḥ. Ubhayor, of the two. Api, verily. dṛṣṭaḥ, observed. Antaḥ, conclusion. Tu, indeed. Anayoḥ, of them. Tattva, of the truth. Darśibhiḥ, by the seers. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, which is basically the material body. It says non-existent because after some time the material body dwindles, right? And the material body goes through 6 phases. Can anybody tell me what are the 6 phases through which the body goes? 6 phases? Have you been
Birth,
through 6
childhood,
Childhood, youth, one,
no,
Ah,
then growing,
no.
growing, maintaining,
Old
dwindling,
age,
yeah,
maintenance,
dwindling, yeah.
and
Old
then
age,
death.
and
death.
Old age and death.
Yeah, so you go through those 6 stages in life, and that's it. Then there is death. So that's why the material body is non-existence. They're saying at the non-existent, there's no endurance. Endurance means that, it'll stay. It doesn't endure, right? So there's no endurance. And of the eternal, which is the soul, of the soul, there is no change. Isn't this wonderful? Otherwise, it would have been like when I'm 60 years old and my soul is wrinkled. Who likes wrinkles, right? The industry spends billions of dollars and try to remove wrinkles, right? So of this, there's no endurance, and of the eternal soul, there is no change. That's a fantastic path. No change means it does not go through these 6 stages that you just listed. So it means there's no birth and no death for the soul. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both, right? So sometimes it is important to study and compare 2 things before you come to a conclusion. So they have studied the nature of both. And the seers of truth are not ordinary people. It's not definitely a scientist who's sitting behind a microscope and trying to figure out, because scientists stop at the material. They don't talk about the spiritual, right? So these are, much, much higher level of people who are doing this kind of things, like Parashar Muni, Vyasadeva, like that. So let's do a little bit of a familiarization with the Sanskrit words that are there. And we are coming to the quiz part. So what is the Sanskrit for observed?
dṛṣṭaḥ.
dṛṣṭaḥ, very good. And what is the Sanskrit for endurance?
Bhava,
bhāvaḥ.
bhāvaḥ. Right? Say bhāvaḥ. Everybody say bhāvaḥ. Give it some punch.
bhāvaḥ.
bhava,
And if something doesn't endure, it changes.
asataḥ,
Abhāvaḥ. Right? Bhava and abhāvaḥ. Right? Okay. And what is eternal and non-eternal? What will be the 2 words?
asataḥ.
All right. And if I were to say there is, what will I say?
Vidyate.
And if I have to say verily, very much? Api. All right. And then if I am a Muni and I'm breaking my brains and then I come to a conclusion, what's the conclusion?
antaḥ,
Antaḥ. Right. And then if I have to say those who are the intelligent ones and they have done something, what is that?
Of them.
Done by somebody.
anayoḥ.
dṛṣṭaḥ,
Not drish, you see? Is it drish?
dṛṣṭaḥ,
Darśibhiḥ. Okay, 6:30 in the
Darśibhiḥ.
morning. Let's clear our throat. Darśibhiḥ. Okay, right? So now I wanted to tell you something about this verse. And that is from, this is a glorification of Krishna. So imagine that there is a Srimad Bhagavatam, so there is the Mahabharata war that is going on. The bugles have sounded. And at the last moment, Arjuna is saying, I don't want to fight. So there is some pressure over there. Bhagavad Gita was recited in bang, 45 minutes by Krishna to Arjuna. And look at the beauty. So when we have to give quick instructions to somebody and we are in emergency, we don't even speak clearly. Some words will be missing, some words will be mispronounced, and so on and so forth. And here is Krishna constructing beautiful poetry in the middle of a battlefield. That's Krishna for us. So in this particular verse, you see, nāsato vidyate bhāvo, nābhāvo vidyate sataḥ. So do you see some sort of a, like a little melody over here?
Yeah,
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
Nāsato
definitely.
vidyate bhāvo, nābhāvo
Nābhāvo
vidyate
vidyate
sataḥ.
sataḥ.
So what is he doing here? Right? So there is bhāvo and there is nābhāvo. He's using opposites. So bhāvo and nābhāvo is one opposite. He's also using one more opposite. What was the other opposite that we talked about?
Nāsato
nāsato
sataḥ.
or sataḥ.
And
Uh-huh.
sataḥ, right? So this kind of a construction is known as it's not, it's done in other poetries as well. This is one of the ways where you want to emphasize something. When you want to emphasize something, you are contrasting, right? So it's giving the two contrasts of the eternal and non-eternal, right? So, and whether it endures or whether it doesn't endure. And so to make it more poetical, Krishna is saying it this way. There is also, sometimes, a very famous speech from Subhash Chandra Bose, where he used to say, "Tum mujhe khoon do, main tumhe azadi dunga," right? So you give me something and I'm going to give you something. So it emphasizes that, right? He could have also said, "Mujhe khoon de do, azadi leni hai," something like that. Give me your blood. I want to get freedom for India. But he says it in such a nice way. So people also use it, not only in poetry, but they also use it. So this term is known as chiasmus. In the English poetry, when you read that, it's called chiasmus. And so where does this come from? Why is it called chiasmus? And here, the word chiasmus is coming from Greek, where this is a Greek letter chi, right? So you go this way, and then you go that way, right? So it's a cross this way and that way. So similarly, nāsato, sato, vidyate, avidyate, bhāvo, abhāvo, like that, right? So I just wanted you all to relish the beautiful poetry that Krishna is doing. And what is the key takeaway from this verse?
Impermanence of the body.
Impermanence of the body.
The soul is the only permanent one.
And yeah, so that's a chiasmus,
And no
right?
change of the soul.
Yes, impermanence of the body and permanence of the soul. And that's what Krishna is trying to emphasize. That Arjuna, why are you afraid of fighting? You are saying, I'm going to kill all my thing. What is that killing? Soul is not going to die. And this material body is anyways going to die because it does not endure. Right? Abhāvaḥ does not endure. It has changing qualities. It will go to 6 stages in life. And ultimately, all of them are going to die. Right? So now, if something's quality changes, what do you call that in Sanskrit?
Abhāvaḥ.
Abhāvaḥ. Good. Now, I'm going to break this down into syllables. We'll practice that once. Na, sa. So A with a bar, more emphasis on the A. So so like na, and sa, like that. Na, sa, to, vi, dia, te. It is not T. T, if it's a simple T is written, it's pronounced as ta in Titili. So vidyate, bhāvo. Nābhāvo, vidya. So dya is pronounced as dya and not daya. Vidyate sataḥ. H with a dot, give it more punch. Taḥ. Ubhayor api dṛṣṭo. So now this time the T has got a dot underneath it. So dṛṣṭo. So those who understand the Hindi or the Sanskrit Devanagari lipi, or the script, you see there's a ta. Right? There's a ta over here and there's a ta over here. So ta and ta pronounced differently and written differently here. Thanks to the wonderful scheme in which Srila Prabhupada presents all these Sanskrit and English for us. Tone. So tone goes together. Tone, tas. So dṛṣṭo. Tva-na-yos. Tattva-darśibhiḥ. So here you see the letter S has got an accent on the top, so it's she. Again, it is sha as in shalyam. Sha, right here, as in Shalini. Bhihi, H with a dot again. Taha, bhihi, like that. Okay. So let's see. Kiran Mataji, you want to try the breakdown here? Like this.
Na.
Na.
Hare Krishna. Nāsato vidyate.
There. It's not the.
Vidyate. Bhāvo. Na abhāvo.
Na.
Bhāvo. Na bhāvo. Vidyate. Sataḥ. Ubhayor. Ubhayor.
Yor.
Api.
Ubhayor.
Ubhayor. Api.
No, it's not ubhayor. Ubhayor.
Ubhayor.
Yeah.
Ubhayor.
There's a difference between bhayor and bhayor.
Ubhayor.
Yeah.
Api. dṛṣṭo. ntas.
Very nice.
Tatvan.
Put your eyes. Yeah.
Okay.
Slowly, every syllable. Tva.
Anayos. tattva-darśibhiḥ.
Bihi. Very nice. Okay. Who's coming next? Saranya. Saranya, want to try?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Go ahead.
Yeah. Nāsato vidyate bhāvo nābhāvo vidyate sataḥ ubhayor api dṛṣṭo ntas anayos tattva-darśibhiḥ.
Yeah. Dar. Yeah, not dhar. Darshibhi. Darshan karna. Darshibhi. Those who see. Okay. Very good.
If it is dha, that is fourth dha, it is dha.
DH. Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a website called nityasankirtan.com. And again, this will be because we have newcomers. Let me just quickly show that here. Where did it go? There is a document there which talks about nityasankirtan.com, which talks about how do you pronounce Sanskrit if it's written in the English script, right? I'm just going to briefly show you there. If you go to the tab called Gita, and if you scroll down, there is a Sanskrit pronunciation guide, right? Check it out. There's a document. You should read that. Okay. So back again to the call here. Who is coming next?
Yes,
Suraj. Oh, Varshana. Yeah.
nāsato vidyate bhāvo nābhāvo vidyate sataḥ ubhayor api dṛṣṭo ntas dṛṣṭo ntas anayos tattva-darśibhiḥ.
Bihi. Very nice. Okay. Suruchi Mataji.
nāsato vidyate bhāvo nābhāvo bhāvo vidyate sataḥ ubhayor api dṛṣṭo
This
ntas
tone, the two go together. Okay? These two have to go together. Tone. Say tone.
dṛṣṭo
This word,
ntas.
color tone. Right? Tone.
Yeah.
Pronounce it like that. Yeah.
dṛṣṭo ntas anayos tattva-darśibhiḥ.
Vihi. Nice. Okay. Sutapa.
nāsato vidyate bhāvo nābhāvo vidyate
Vidya. Vidya.
vidyate sataḥ ubhayor api dṛṣṭo tattva-darśibhiḥ. Yes, tattva-darśibhiḥ.
Darśibhiḥ, right? So as usual, you need to practice on where it is a sa and where it is a sha, right? In this one, you were good, anayos, but on this one, nāsato and not shato, right? But I know because of
Nāsato.
Bengali accent, you might have
Nāsato.
problems. Yeah, but keep practicing that. Good. All right, then comes Sumodini.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Nāsato vidyate bhāvo nābhāvo vidyate sataḥ ubhayor api dṛṣṭo ntas anayos tattva-darśibhiḥ.
Right? So again, this is something that I didn't emphasize. Again, for newcomers, we have two here in the class. So if you look at this, right, the R has got a dot underneath it. So it becomes Ri and not Ra, right? Like as in Rishi, you say Rishi. Everybody say Rishi. Rishi. Right? And say Rashi.
dṛṣṭo.
Rashi. So there's a difference, right? Rishi and Rashi. Okay. So Rashi will just start with R, Rashi. Okay, Rashi like that. Little Rashi, right? And then SH, right? So Drish, and so not Dra, Dri. Dri, right? Dri. And then again, the tattva-darśibhiḥ. No, not tas, this tone, tas. Tone, tas. Yeah, so that's a little, tone, tas. Something you need to keep in mind. Okay, very good. Let's continue on with Sulekha Mataji.
nāsato vidyate bhāvo
Not dhya. It's not vidya.
vidya.
Yeah, and then pronounce them separately because in this line we are pronouncing things separately, right? So vidya. Yeah. And the reason I break it down in the syllables is that it gives us a chance to focus on that. Otherwise, from our previous impressions in the mind, vidya, we maybe know some person by the name Vidya and we'll say Vidya, but this is not Vidya. Vidya, right? Sanskrit. It's Sanskrit, right? Okay, go ahead. Start from the beginning again, Sulekha.
nāsato vidyate bhāvo nābhāvo vidyate sataḥ ubhayor api dṛṣṭo ntas anayos tattva-darśibhiḥ.
Darśibhiḥ, right? So when there is no bar on the top of the egg, make it a little softer, right? Tattva, not tattva. Right? Tattva-darśibhiḥ. Okay, good. Madhav Sangini?
Nāsato vidyate bhāvo nābhāvo vidyate sataḥ ubhayor api dṛṣṭo ntas anayos tattva-darśibhiḥ.
Darśibhiḥ. Okay. So now let's continue with giving the full focus, right?
Wait,
and now you can still look at, Aruni Mataji, I saved the best for the last. Come on.
nāsato vidyate bhāvo nābhāvo vidyate sataḥ ubhayor api dṛṣṭo anayos tattva-darśibhiḥ.
Very nice. Okay, now let's go and do the full one here, one line at a time. Nāsato vidyate bhāvo. Everybody?
Nāsato
vidyate
bhāvo.
nābhāvo vidyate sataḥ.
nābhāvo vidyate sataḥ.
ubhayor api dṛṣṭo ntas.
ubhayor api dṛṣṭo
anayos tattva-darśibhiḥ.
anayos
tattva-darśibhiḥ.
nāsato vidyate bhāvo.
vidyate bhāvo.
nābhāvo vidyate sataḥ.
nābhāvo vidyate sataḥ.
ubhayor api dṛṣṭo ntas.
ubhayor api dṛṣṭo
ntas.
anayos tattva-darśibhiḥ.
anayos tattva-darśibhiḥ.
So with what letter does the first line start?
nāsato na
Yeah. The question was what letter does it start?
na
Na.
Yeah. Okay. And the second one?
Ha.
N.
Na.
And then the third one?
U.
So it's not
Fourth one?
the
ta
So what does it mean?
not.
nine
Nut, right?
Mm.
Nut. No nuts. I'm allergic. Remember this. No nuts. Nāsato vidyate bhāvo.
Nāsato vidyate bhāvo.
nābhāvo vidyate sataḥ.
nābhāvo vidyate sataḥ.
ubhayor api dṛṣṭo ntas.
ubhayor api dṛṣṭo
anayos tattva-darśibhiḥ.
anayos tattva-darśibhiḥ.
Okay, so I'm going to stop over here because 7 o'clock I need to go for other meetings. But I also wanted to let that yesterday I was in Fremont, and that's where I met our dear Saranya Mataji. And so there we did prayers of Queen Kunti because that's where we are focusing from our temple this time to memorize those verses. And we had about 20 people, I might be here and there by a few, but all of them memorized one of the verse from the prayers of Queen Kunti. So I really want you also to spend some time and memorize it. So what I'm going to do is today I will give you 2 pieces of homework, right? And Saranya is already ahead of you, but it's a very easy verse, right? So memorize that also. The idea is that before Bhadra Purnima, at least memorize one verse from prayers of Queen Kunti, right? And you're welcome to memorize all of them. Okay, so I'll take your leave now. Just watch out on the WhatsApp page. I'm going to do a recording of this verse to show how it is pronounced, recording of both of them and 2 separate things there.
Can we get the number of that verse? What's the number of that verse?
I will be putting everything on the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put everything. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Sindhubhya eva cha
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Hare Krishna.
Premanande. Hari
Hari Hari Bol.